Oh shit, here we go again.
This winter 2021 season had the most shows I've ever picked up in all the years of watching anime, and guess what, I only dropped 2 shows. So going in, I thought the spring season would give me free time where I could finally watch older shows. But nope, there's actually a lot of pretty compelling series out right now. Yes, undoubtedly, the quality won't be the same as the winter season. I mean, I don't think anyone would be surprised by that, since all the big name shows were out last season. But overall, I'm pretty surprised with the quantity of really interesting shows that are out right now. Anyway, I'll be going over the shows that I'll be watching this season and give out my thoughts on them from just the first episode. Also, this will be a little unscripted, so hopefully I say everything that's on my mind. I should clarify as well that I have not read any of the mangas for these series, so it's strictly by the first impression, unless I say otherwise. Also, I'll put timestamps for each show in the description, so you can skip to anything that interests you. And since you'll be down there, you might as well like and subscribe. Anyway, that's all. Let's dive into the video. Honestly, I feel that My Hero has been an okay series since watching it in 2016/2017. Jesus, it's been that long. The main reason for that is because the pacing and the characters annoy me. I'm sorry, I don't need to hear an introduction for each character because it's a waste of time. And obviously I'm going to forget about them right after. Anyway, the show seems like it'll finally progress forward on certain things that I've been looking forward to. So I'm happy for that. If you haven't started this series, I honestly think it will be worth it. If you're into Marvel and DC, then this show might be up your alley since it explores the world of superheroes. I know it's quirks, but some people don't know that. This show gets a bad rap because of the fan base, but honestly fuck them. Just try it out and you might like it, so don't let the outside factors sway you on not watching it. There are things I don't like about the show, but overall I still think it's a solid 7 out of 10 series for me. This show is really good. I mean really good. It dives into the world of Zodiac shit. Oh my bad, I forgot to take that out of the script. And the story focuses around Toru. She ends up moving in with these random ass dudes after her mom passed away and she was living in a tent, if that made sense. Throughout the series, she meets more people who can transform into certain Zodiac creatures. Honestly, a synopsis doesn't do justice to the show, so please try it out if you're into romance/slice of life shows. Shit, even if you're not into it. I find the show has a great introduction to the genre, and I guarantee you'll love it. I already know this final season will be fantastic, since it will conclude everything I really want to see. So there isn't much I need to say. The first season was rather forgetful, but I think the second season will be way better than the first. If you don't know, the show dives into Megalo Boxing, which essentially is an evolution of boxing that utilizes mechanical limbs. The main character is an underdog fighter who fights to the top, which results in him becoming a champion. But from the first episode, he's fallen back down to his lows of lows. What has been a hook for me is that the show dives into failure and mistakes. You can see Joe has regret in his life and has fallen to drug addiction to combat this trauma. The show gives off Rocky 3 vibes, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. So if you loved Rocky, then this show might be for you. It also dives into the topic of immigration, which adds more perspective to the show. If you like Erased or Steins Gate, then you might like this show. The show dives into the main character getting a second chance at life to try and save his ex-girlfriend, who he finds out was murdered by the Tokyo Majin gang in the present time. He gets thrown back 12 years in the past when he was dating her. He has to climb the ranks and figure out how to change things so that the present isn't doomed. The show might look weird from a new viewer standpoint, but if you give it a chance, you'll find it interesting. I love redemption stories, so if you're into that type of series, then I recommend giving the show a shot. AE86. No, not that. I meant 86. Yeah, that's better. Damn, I'm surprised to see a mecha show out this season. I mean, there are 2, but I don't care about the second season of this. I'm still swaying with my opinion for this show, since not much has happened in the first episode. Seems like the story is about a group that has been treated like trash because they're not considered human. Then they finally meet someone with a heart that commands them with respect. I get Iron-Blooded Orphan vibes from the show since it dives into the topics of discrimination and war. So if you have any interest in these topics, then you might like the series. That's all I have to say about this show. The show focuses around an AI named Vivy, whose mission is to make everyone happy with their voice. One day, Matsumutsu, I'm sorry, I'm white, who's an AI, appears before Vivy and explains that he has traveled 100 years into the future. Its mission is to correct history with Vivy and prevent the war between AI and humanity that will take place 100 years later. Honestly, this plot is compelling. I feel like it will be one of the best shows this season. Obviously, they're different stories, but I get Violet Evergarden vibes from this show. Also, the show is by the same author that wrote Re:Zero, so I can guarantee that the plot will be heavy and consist of good content. The first episode was kind of slow, but overall I think it has enough to grab any viewer's attention. Yoshida has had a crush on his boss for 5 years, but quickly after getting the chance to go on a date with her, he gets rejected. So he ends up drinking his feelings away at a bar. As he's heading home, he finds his teenage girl alone sitting on the street. After some dialogue, they both go home together, where it brings forth a sketchy situation. It leads to her staying at his house from now on because he finds out that she ran away and didn't want to go back. Yeah, I know the show sounds sus in the beginning, but as you watch, you realize that it won't lead to any pedo shit, I think. This show isn't for everyone, but it seems like it'll be good. There is a lot of fan service, which isn't my thing, to be honest, but the characters' relationship with each other has been a really interesting thing to see. So I'm looking forward to what will happen later in the series. It was annoying to see people complain about the show on Twitter for dumb reasons since it wasn't even out at the time, but overall the show seems pretty good. I knew about the show since last year, so I was going to watch it no matter what, and yeah, it was everything that I thought it was going to be. It's about a girl who teases his senpai for the fun of it, or what people would say is that she was bullying him.
I'm better than you, my shape up better, my car faster, my drip better,
Honestly, from what I could see or predict, the guy will probably break out of his shell and not worry too much. The show isn't for everyone, and honestly, if you take the teasing too seriously, then you might not like the show. If you ever watched this show and you liked it, then you might like this series. The show's about a boy named Setsu, who's been playing this Japanese musical instrument his whole life. I'm not gonna say the name because I'm white, but here's the fucking name. But he loses focus in life after his grandfather passes away. He drops out of high school and travels to Tokyo, where he basically becomes a bar cover for an XXX song, because he's sad. But his mom comes into the scene, forcing him back into school, which will result in him finding his passion again. I'm a big fan of music shows, so I knew I would like this a lot. The first episode is kind of slow and the pacing is okay. What? It's the same thing. Why am I saying that? Whatever. The musical scenes pulled me in since the overall environment played out well, which made it really good. Honestly, don't know where the show is going, so that's another thing that drew me in. I highly suggest giving the show a shot. There's not much I could say besides if you enjoyed music anime before, then this might be for you. I was actually expecting this show to come out last year, so I was sad when I heard that the date got moved. But we all know why that happened. The first episode of the show is really heavy with this plot invoking a heartache from the viewer. I swear it was so hard to hold back my tears. Yeah, sorry, I'm a bitch. The show starts by showing an immortal being that has no emotions, or what I would say is a glowy ball that's just sitting in the snow. It takes shape of whatever is around it that gives off a strong presence. So through the show, I'm guessing it'll take shape into different things where we will see a lot of exploration, perspective, and experience from different people it encounters. I don't know why, but I sense something really good unfolding from this show. This might be too soon to say, but I could see the show being the best from this season, which is saying something because the other shows that I've brought up hold weight as well. Some of the shows that give off the same vibe are Mashishi, Dororo, and even this movie that I'm not going to say because it was too hard to say, I guess. So if you enjoyed anything I just named, then you most likely will love this show. Also, don't call me on this, but I think the author of the show also wrote a silent voice, which is also a big surprise to hear. Anyway, that's all I have to say about the show. Just try it out. Well, that sums up everything that I'll be watching this spring season. I hope this video convinced some people to try out a new series since they're all pretty good from what I've seen. Anyway, that's all I have to say. If you don't mind, please like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I want to upload more frequently, so I hope anyone that comes by these videos joins the ride. Also, if you want to hear or see a certain show or a piece of content talked about, I'm open to hearing any suggestions in the comments section. Alright, I'm done. Peace.